Hello, happy new year. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Got my new glasses to start off the year, and I've just been running some errands with my dad today. Yeah, just started the day off running some errands. I think I'll check in with you guys later around like the whole new year shebang, whether we're doing some goals or whatever, what my plan is, what my thoughts are as we head into 2025. I will take you along. Welcome to the video. Hello. I'm home now. Before we jump in to 2025, new year, new me, all that whole shebang, we could do a little bit of reflecting on 2024. So I haven't really asked myself any prompts. I just sort of wanted to think about really standout experiences or lessons or wins this year for myself, and I just thought I'd share because that's fun. So the first thing that I really recognise and appreciate from 2024 is I prioritised community and my connections with people. I feel like I had a really good experience with friends this year. I think the energy and effort that went into my friendships, what I got out of them, pushing myself a little bit out of my comfort zone, it wasn't really natural for me, but it was a really rewarding, fulfilling year in terms of the people around me. So I was really grateful for that. The second one is a little bit strange. Bear with me, you can skip through this if it's not your thing. But I explored my relationship with spirituality. So haven't really spoken about this. I do show that I go to church on my daily vlogs kind of thing. But I was raised not religious, very anti-religion, organised religion. I would also call myself quite liberal, but I don't know if it's a generational thing for my generation or not, but there is so much to be bogged down with in the world, and it's just lovely to go and commune with people who are looking at hope. Now, again, wasn't raised religious, and I'm not one to say, I don't think any human being is one to say that it is definitely God, it is definitely Jesus, it's definitely Mother Earth. I personally believe that there is something, but I'm not going to tell you what you should name it, what it is named. It could be any of those above, it could be none of the above, but I do think there's something. So the name doesn't really matter to me, but going to this one church that I found is full of lovely, like-minded people who are very accepting of the world around them, continue to drive the world forward in a way that is hopeful and progressive and positive, and just treat people nicely. And I think it's just such a lovely experience to go once a week and just show gratitude and look for the good in the everyday life, because yeah, there's so much noise and horror constantly. So that's been a really fulfilling experience for me this year. And on another note within that, while we all get bogged down, and I think there's a habit, again, I don't know if it's a society thing, a generational thing, I think we all have a habit of loudly talking about the problems of the world and what's wrong with the world, and not doing much about it. And I understand there's so much that is out of our hands and like so far beyond us, and it does feel impossible. So it is nice to go to a place where they organise and unify people to do those things that make a difference. For example, the church I go to, you can go and feed people, you can go and keep people warm during the winter. It's blooming freezing out at the moment, and you can look after children and do daycare and help people in a community, and you don't need to know them, you just like, everyone looks after each other. And I think that's very special and really meaningful. I don't know, so that's been really fulfilling this year. I say more so in the last few months. I found a church that I really enjoyed, and just yeah, good people, and friends are going with me, and it's lovely, and not at all anything I ever foresaw for myself. But again, who's to say it is one way or the other, but it's a lovely experience on my day-to-day, and it makes a difference in my brain and my mental health and my life. So that's been really lovely. Another piece that I did a lot this year was I read a lot more than I anticipated. My whole last video was on that, so I'm not going to waffle at you, because you can go watch 20 minutes of me waffling in the last one. The other one was, this is something I noticed about myself, and I think I'm learning, is I had a lot of negative self-talk this year. So that's a lesson that I will be bringing with me in 2025. Gonna keep working on it. Gonna keep plugging away and building up. I think you can be confident and still not have self-worth. So yeah, gonna keep navigating that space. Another win this year, I did my room up. I think I found my style a bit more. I was playing around with fashion and how I like to dress and express myself, which has been really great. I feel more confident now. I remember, like, I'm wearing the things that I wanted to wear when I was in high school, but I felt ridiculous wearing it in high school. But now I feel confident wearing the clothes that I like in my day-to-day life, so that's been fun. Another more vulnerable one, I think this year was a really nice highlight of learning and adjusting my spending habits. I wouldn't say I've had horrendous spending habits, and I wouldn't say I've had fortuitous spending habits. I think I've just sort of floated in my finance life for most of my life, my adult life, and it's been really interesting learning about it and trying to navigate and build up towards future financial goals, which is really difficult. It is. We live in a time where it is hard, so that's been something that I would like to continue learning about and embodying, because I think I have gotten better at prioritizing and noticing in the moment. So we're going to keep that up. That's been very fulfilling. How many times can I say fulfilling in this one bit? And then the last bit, random, but I did find a medication that worked for me. I talked about this in the summer, but I did start on an SSRI. I have been on a few SSRIs in the past with negative impact. I was not keen on trying again, and funnily enough, this SSRI is working after a really horrible, invalidating doctor's appointment. So you never know, but it's actually been, I think it's given me a really good baseline to work off of and sort of help me navigate at a stable level of emotions. I don't know if it's an antidepressant or an anti-anxiety, I'm not really sure. It is something, it is helping my brain. So that's been a win this year, and I'm continuing taking that, and that's been ongoing for over 6 months now. So that's been a great experience actually. So yeah, that's a little reflection of 2024, some wins, some learning opportunities, some observations. And those are just the things that were standing out to me right this second. So there's probably lots of other things, but I've pretty much documented it all over the year. So yeah, so I think I'm just going to do a bit of a tidy up, a bit of a clean of the space before we maybe do some chatting about what 2025 is going to look like, or looking forward into the new year. So we'll get to that in a bit, and cue the cleaning montage. Okay, we're all clean and tidy. I haven't committed to taking down my garland yet because I think it looks so pretty and festive and I love it, and it's quite dark now, but I thought we could go through what I'm looking at for 2025. I'm not going to go through like goal setting and breaking it down into action plans and action items and pieces like that. I think you can very easily access that sort of content right now, and there's a very high saturation of it, and I just did it by myself. I wanted to kind of keep it a bit closer to my chest this year, but I did want to share a silly little goal I've got, which is to floss a little bit more. Prioritize flossing. The next one is to keep playing and having fun with my creativity, whether that's making my videos, which I'm loving, or doing some writing or some artistry or whatever that looks like, just having fun and playing. The other piece is priorities over the numerical goal. And the way that I am describing that is, I guess an example of a numerical goal would be, by the end of this year, I want to buy a house. By the end of this year, I want 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Hyperbole for a reason. Instead of looking at that as a finite goal, I like to look at the priority of getting towards a place that will make my life happy. So, or something that will make me happy and bring me joy. So for example, instead of it being by the end of this year I want a house, because full transparency, that's been on my list since 2023. Every year I've been like, this is the year, getting a house. And there's so many external factors that I can't really help. And it's just a challenge. So instead the priority is stability, saving, working towards that goal is the priority. I'm not putting a finite number on that. For more subscribers on YouTube, I'm just having fun. Weekly uploads, enjoying what I do, versus I need this number. Because I think at the end of the year then you can come away and be a bit disappointed because you didn't reach that goal. But if you have the priority, it transfers quite easily over to whatever next quarterly, yearly time frame you're looking at, because you've still prioritized it. And I guarantee if you've prioritized it, you're going to be further ahead than you were the last time you checked. So that's more where I'm sitting. So I challenge you to add that on to your New Year's system, whatever that looks like for you. I know some people are really adverse to New Year's resolutions and some people lean in. So I challenge you to look at your priorities for the time being. And I'm still going to keep on doing my like weekly check-ins and monthly sort of resets sort of thing. I think for me that's a little bit easier. I don't have a job right now. I don't really know what the next year is going to look like, so I can't really put a number or a value on a lot of my goals right now. I can look at the priorities. So that's where I'm starting this year. Keenan and I had a really good conversation the other day where I just mentioned, for me, it's the day-to-day stuff that I'm looking at and what I want, like what I imagine my ideal day would look like, rather than the sort of ideas. Sometimes I think everyone gets lost in the ideas and what they want and these big visions that they've got. But I think for me, it's the day-to-day that I really want to hone in on this year. So yeah, that's what I just wanted to chat about for the 2025 year. I did pick a word for this year, which is unsurprisingly prioritize. I did create a vision board just for fun. I don't think that saving pretty photos on Pinterest will change my life or make anything happen, but I do think it's a nice visual reminder and a visual cue of the things that I am working towards. So that's just here. I also change this seasonally. I like to just refresh it every once in a while and remotivate myself with different pretty pictures, which will obviously change my life. And yeah, I think I'm just going to do some work. I'd like to get this video up by tomorrow and probably just hang out for the evening. Keenan's going to come over later, which will be lovely. Let me know if you have any particular goals or priorities that you're thinking of this year, because I do like hearing from you guys and it's nice to share those sort of things that you're working towards and put it out into the world sometimes. If you want to keep it close to your chest, do that too. But if I'm not, yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys are prioritizing this year. Okay, I got some work done, had some dinner with my mum and dad, And then we watched some Big Fat Quiz of everything. Oh, the reflection in here is terrible. Watched some Big Fat Quiz of everything, which was quite fun. And now I'm just waiting for Keenan to come over, and I think I'm just going to read for a little bit. I just started Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. Heard lots of good things. So far it's very fun. I'm enjoying the world building and the setting of it, so not very far in yet, but probably just gonna do some of that. Yeah. Keenan is feeling pretty camera shy right now. I was gonna ask him what his priorities are at the moment to contribute to the conversation of this video, and nothing. Okay, I am probably going to wrap this video up here and get ready for bed. So thank you for joining me to kickstart 2025. If you could give this video a like or subscribe if you're so inclined, it really does help me as I'm growing my channel. Again, love to hear the comments. Let me know your priorities. Let me know your goals for the year. I'm going to wash my face and go floss. So thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one.